Okay, there. Hi everyone. I am trying something different this week. I'm using this like this, and then I'm using my document camera so you can see the picture a little bit better. I read from the Beginner's Bible out of the Old Testament about Moses' birth, and then I read out of a regular NIV Bible just to give you guys, the younger students and older students, both kind of versions of it, okay? And so I'm going to try and mesh all this together to get it to work, and I'm hoping to do some stuff to attach it. As I read about Moses, I want you to think about him as a small baby being raised by his mom, and then getting to go live in the palace of the Egyptians, how kind of that might feel. Because he was an adoption case in a way, because he's adopted by the Pharaoh's daughter. All right. So I want you to kind of think about that. And he is an Israelite though. So he's also seeing his people daily suffering. So kind of think about those ideas. And I'll have a couple activity pages to attach with this. As I said, everyone, the life of Moses starts as a baby. It is in the book of Exodus. The whole book of Exodus pretty much deals with the life of Moses. So we're going to start kind of with the beginning of his life. As you know, you can see kind of Pharaoh here. He doesn't look like he's very happy. And it says, and this is happening after Joseph had been in Egypt. All right? So I'm trying something different. It says, many years passed, a new Pharaoh ruled over Egypt. He did not know about the good things Joseph had done. By now, there were many people in Jacob's family. They were called Israelites. So this is when we're starting to see the Israelites. And you can see them here. They're working really hard. They're making the bricks, okay? You can see them working and smashing up the straw there, hauling stuff there, okay? So it says, Pharaoh did not like the Israelites. He made them work hard. One day, Pharaoh decided to get rid of all the Israelite baby boys. That sounds terrible, doesn't it? Well, Moses was one of those little Israelite babies, okay? And this is where we hear the story of the baby in the basket. So you can see here, they're crying, they're putting him in the little basket, they're sticking him in the river, okay? And there's a lot of different movies that talk about this, and a lot of different things. A woman named, and I'm going to mess up her name, Jochebed had a baby boy. She wanted to save him, so she gently laid her baby inside a basket and placed him in the river. The baby started to cry, so that's not a good deal, okay? So now if you look here, this young lady holding him is an Egyptian, okay? So it says, Pharaoh's daughter saw the basket and opened it. She gently picked up the baby and hugged him. I want to keep you, the princess whispered. She named him Moses because she pulled him out of the water. All right. Now we got to go over here and learn a little bit more. So here is the Pharaoh's daughter. This is Miriam, and this is baby Moses. Okay? So it says, Miriam, the baby's big sister, had been watching nearby. She said to the princess, I know a woman who can help you take care of the baby. So Miriam ran to get her mother. Jochebed was so happy. So here she is. She might get to take and keep her baby boy, and he gets to be safe. So there we go. Look at him now. There's Moses. And it says, when Moses was a young boy, Jochebed returned him to the princess, and he grew up in the palace. So she got to keep him until he was old enough, okay? All right, so we're going to stop there at him being the baby. And next time we'll work on the burning bush, okay? And there's some other things before that, too, that you need to know about, probably. For those of you, for parents and for the older teens who maybe are helping the little ones, the story I just read came from Exodus. The first little bit is from Exodus 1 here. And then the second part about Moses as a baby comes from Exodus 2, the verses 1 through 10, where it talks about the birth of Moses, okay? So it says, "Now a man of the house of Levi married a Levite woman, and she became pregnant and gave birth to a son. When she saw that he was a fine child, she hid him for 3 months. But when she could hide him no longer, she got a papyrus basket for him and coated it with tar and pitch." Okay? That would be similar to what we see on our roads, the black sticky stuff. Then she placed the child in it and put it among the reeds along the bank of the Nile. So now we're looking at the Nile River. So many of you guys, if you're a teenager, you've studied it in your history classes. His sister stood at a distance to see what would happen to him. When Pharaoh's daughter went down to the Nile to bathe, and her attendants were walking along the river bank, she saw the basket among the reeds and sent her slave girl to get it. She opened it and saw the baby. He was crying, and she felt sorry for him. "This is one of the Hebrew babies," she said. Then his sister asked Pharaoh's daughter, "Shall I go and get one of the Hebrew women to nurse the baby for you?" "Yes, go," she answered. And the girl went and got the baby's mother. Pharaoh's daughter said to her, "Take this baby and nurse him for me, and I will pay you." So the woman took the baby and nursed him. When the child grew older, she took him to the Pharaoh's daughter, and he became her son. She named him Moses, saying, "I drew him out of the water." So that gives you both kind of two different versions of the same story.